friends, so today we are going to be doing just like a get ready with me, just like a classic good old, I do these a lot, just my thoughts. I have a lot of thoughts on a couple of different things going on right now, and so I just want to I just want to talk about them. I just want to share my opinion with you guys about a few things happening that have been so problematic. I feel we need primer. So I got sent this Cover FX blurring primer from my BoxyCharm, and I'm gonna try to put that just in my T-zone. It's a very, very thick. It reminds me so much of the Professional, but I don't know if it's as good as the Professional. All right, so let's get started. So what are we talking about today? So I know there's been a trillion videos made on the Nicole Arbour situation, but I just had some thoughts of my own, I guess you could say. It's just been bothering me because, I don't know. Let me just talk about it. So if you don't know what's going on, which I would be very surprised if you're on YouTube frequently and didn't know, and I also wouldn't recommend you go and watch her video. I watched it through a third party because I don't believe in giving that woman money, because if you don't know who she is, if you remember a couple years ago, she did the Dear Fat People video where she was like, it's your fault and you're unhealthy for being fat. And just really, really ignorant. She just makes really, really ignorant videos for the sake of being shocking. I don't think she actually believes a lot of what she says. I think she's really just in it for the shock value, but regardless, she's an idiot. I don't care why you're saying it. If you're saying it, she's an idiot. And she just says this stuff to be really shocking and gross, and I'm not about it. So she did the Dear Fat People video. I guess she also, I kind of forgot about her after that, I'm not gonna lie. She also did the video called Why Depression's All in Your Head, which again, I'm not really the type of person that very easily gets offended, because I don't know, getting offended about things like that when it's people like that who are just obviously trying to offend you seems kind of silly to me. By the way, if I have a dream, I'm going to tell you guys really quick, just interrupt those. My dream is when I grow up I'm 23 years old. When I grow up, I want to have a refrigerator in my kitchen that is just this is Saratoga water. I bought this today. But I want to have a fridge in my kitchen that's just has really bougie, overly priced water. I know that's the stupidest way to spend your money, but I have a goal to try all of the bougie water in the world just to see what it's like. I looked up the most expensive bottle of water and it's $10,000, so I don't think we're ever going to get there. But water that's $4 when it could just be 99 cents. I don't know. I'm getting sidetracked. That's a dream I have. So, use this LA Girl Pro Coverage foundation today. I don't know. I'm just feeling it. I haven't been loving any of my foundations lately. I kind of want to clear out the ones I have and revamp my foundation collection, because I have just every time I look at my foundation drawer, none of them are ones that I want to use. Does that make sense? Anyway, so just being offended for the sake of being offended because she's trying to offend you. I don't know. I don't get offended by trolls is basically what I'm saying. And that's what I see her as, is just a big troll. Here's the thing though. I feel the This Is America. So if you don't know what happened, I'm sorry, I'm doing a horrible job at explaining this. Donald Glover made a music video for his new song called This Is America. And if you haven't watched it, I would highly recommend you watch that. I think it has some really, really good, strong messages in it, and I think it's really a work of art, to be quite honest. I think he did a fantastic job with that video, and I would highly recommend you guys watch it. But basically, she decided that she was going to do a parody of that, a parody of the This Is America video, and it was going to be basically for, feminism. So instead of talking about guns and Black Lives Matter, she was talking about rape culture and problems women face, basically. The music video is absolutely terrible. So bad. Probably the cringiest thing, one of the cringiest things I've ever seen. It's just so I feel here's the thing, I'm not a music video critic. I don't know a lot about what these people's intentions were. Just what I can speculate Donald Glover's was so effortlessly making a really strong political point. Like, that's the word I would use to describe his video, it was effortless. It didn't look like he was trying to, like, make this political stance. It just was, like, there, and you had to look for it, and it was there, which I loved. That's why I really loved the video. Nicole Arbor's was like, look at me, I want attention because my views are down. She was just trying way too hard to be like, this is a political statement. It was just bad. I would recommend you watch it from like a third party, but I wouldn't recommend giving her the views, just so you kind of know what's going on. Here's why I have like a couple problems with this. The biggest problem I have with this, it's not like the messages she was talking about are wrong. She's talking about she's talking about things that people really should be talking about. Like, you know, having date rape happen and women getting drugged, and the idea that women should just be focused on making a family instead of, you know, going to work, and kind of the oppression of women is something I think we should be talking about, and we should be opening up the conversation. But here's the problem. Nicole Arbour is, first of all, just not the person to do that. She literally made a video that was like talking about how women oppress women. That's one of the like shocking videos she made recently, was like, why women are the reason that women are oppressed. So you can't say that. You can't make these, and the thing is, she always says, well, I'm just trying to joke around and these are all comedy videos and blah, blah, blah. But then she says like, well, but these are also things I believe. Like, I make comedy about the things I believe. It's not like she's parodying other people's thoughts. This is truly what she believes. So you can't basically say that women are the reason that women are oppressed, which is what she said in her video, and then make a video being like, well, I'm all for women's rights now, and like, hell yeah, women. Like, you can't really do that because nobody's going to take you seriously. And more of the fact, like, probably the biggest issue I had with the video, I'm going to say, is just and I know this isn't, we're getting into like controversial territory, but I took a class this semester it's called Race Gender Class, and we talked about all of those things. We talked about racism, we talked about gender stereotypes, and we talked about like classism, economic status, and all that. And I learned a lot from it. I almost wish this had come out because my professor would have like tore into this girl. The thing we talked about a ton in this class was something called intersectionality, which, I'm sorry if the lighting is weird, by the way. I'm working with like natural, maybe if I close this, that's a little better. Okay. In this class, we are working on intersectionality. We talked like a ton about it, which is basically like kind of weird to explain, but it's basically saying how you can't fix one problem while also ignoring another problem. Does that make sense? So if you're talking about women's rights, you can't just ignore the problems that African American women face and only focus on the problems white women face, which when the Women's March happened was like a really, really, really big issue. Huge outcry from African American women, and they were like, you're not representing our struggle, you're only representing your own. And that kind of coined the term called white feminism, which is when you're really only concerned about the issues that affect you instead of the issues that affect everyone. I don't know, again, this is kind of like, I guess, a little bit controversial, but it's also the truth. I feel like what Nicole Arbour was doing in that video was talking about white feminism. And not only that, like, not only is that bad enough that she was just ignoring the problems of so many other people and only focusing on the problems that affected her, because that's bad enough already. I dislike people like that a ton. She was not only doing that, but she was doing it to a parody of the video that was specifically about the oppression that people who are African American face in the United States. So not only did she only focus on white feminism throughout the whole video, she did it to the track of a man who made that song to showcase the oppression that the African American community faces in the United States. And to me, I don't know about to anyone else, but to me, that's just like, who signed off on that? Who told you, hey, Nicole, you like to rap and make really shitty rap music? I have an idea. Let's make a rap video to This Is America, but we'll make it female and it'll be about empowering women. That's what you did. Wasn't even empowering women. I'm sorry if I talk like I'm talking to her. Like, she's obviously not watching this video, but what she did was not really empower women, but instead try and turn the conversation away that was happening, like turn that, because she posted this like a week after it came out. So she was trying to turn the conversation off from what people were talking about and make it about, look at this ignorant white woman who's trying to make everything about her. It's so, and it worked. Because what are most people talking about now? A lot of people were talking about This Is America, the video, when it first came out. But what are most people talking about now? They're talking about Nicole Arbour. Way more videos have been made about the stupidity of this woman instead of, and I'm making one too. Of course I am. Because like, it's something that's crazy to even think somebody would think in this day and age. It still blows my mind. In 2018, people are still doing things like this. And then she tried to like defend it and be like, well, you guys don't understand. I'm trying to make a woman's anthem. First of all, we don't want you to make a woman's anthem because you are everything that most feminists don't stand for. Second of all, I don't want your white feminist crap. If you're gonna make a woman's anthem, you better be making it to represent every single woman, including, mind you, this is just, I don't know if I'm getting way too like ranty feminist on you guys, but something that blew my mind is things like the trans community are not talked about in that video. The oppression that black women face is not talked about in that video. And I'm not trying to get up on my soapbox and speak for those people, but if you're gonna make a female empowering type thing, first of all, don't do it to This Is America by Donald Glover, and second of all, include everyone. I don't know why it's so hard, and this goes beyond Nicole Arbour. Like, yes, she's an idiot, but I'm sorry, I'm being so mean, but I really hated this. I don't like this. I didn't like this woman back when she made the Dear Fat People video, and I really don't like her now. I know all of this is already being said. If you want to make a girl power anthem, do it to like Roar by Katy Perry. Like, do it to something. Don't try to take away from somebody else's anthem and create your own with that. And I don't know, the whole video was really, really off-putting. And I'm sorry if I'm getting way too like socially political right now, but I just don't see how there's ever going to be any sort of like change in the world as far as the oppression all different types of people face if we just ignore certain groups and only care about, that's more of the bigger point I wanted to make when I made this. I didn't really want to I did talk about it a lot because it's hard not to talk about how idiotic this woman is, but I didn't want to talk about that too much. I wanted to talk about the fact that this is a bigger issue, is that we just try to ignore and stomp over other groups that are also oppressed to kind of pass our own, what we want. And I just think that's really ugly and so wrong. And I kind of want more people to start thinking about that. Like, yes, it's awesome to get rights for any group who faces oppression. That's fantastic. But nothing's going to actually change for us as a whole as a community unless we kind of work together to make, I don't know, I'm getting really preachy. I apologize. It's frustrating as somebody who wants to work towards helping other people and who has worked in like advocacy programs and stuff like that. It's really frustrating to see people like her kind of demean everything and kind of give it a bad name almost. Sorry, I know I'm going off on tangents, but. And then a lot of people were saying like how like, oh, it's just these snowflakes that are offended by everything. It wasn't even that it was offensive, it was just really dumb. Like, it was just really, really a stupid thing to do and just not like remotely helpful to anyone. It just made it just is so dumb. Just so dumb. I can't understand how anybody was like, yeah, tap dance instead of, you know, do whatever you want, Nicole. And that's the other thing too that bothers me, is because of her previous videos and her previous stances, I know for a 100% fact that she didn't make this video to like promote women's rights. Like, I know that she made this video because she wanted views and she wanted attention. Because if you look at her social blade, her views were kind of down. Even that video she tried to make that was like about depression didn't really do that well. It's all for the views for her. She's not trying to actually make a statement. and she just comes off as like super, super ignorant. It's pretty frustrating. I just say, I wanted to also talk about today, just since we're here, why I haven't been posting as much. I know on my little header it says like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. Here's the problem, basically. First of all, this week has been really, really, really stressful. If you want to know if I'm not going to upload or like what's going on in my life, follow. I know it's like straight. I don't love promoting my other socials because I feel weird about it. But if you really want to know and you're like, oh, why hasn't she posted in a while? Follow my social media. Like follow me on Twitter because I talk a lot on Twitter about what's going on. Like I was going to post a video yesterday and then I lost all the footage and it all crashed. So I posted like video's not coming today. Just stuff like that. Like if you're interested in knowing, you can follow me on Twitter. Glow_Smokey. And I talk a lot on there just about like what's going on in my life and like why maybe I'm not posting frequently. And to be perfectly honest with you guys, the reason I haven't been posting is literally just because I'm really like depressed. I don't know. I don't really know a better way to put it. I don't really have a particular reason to be sad or depressed or anything. Like life is actually going well. If you follow me on Twitter, I got a 4.0 this semester and I did really, really well in school. My grades all came back great. This was like the best semester grade wise I've ever had. I had some issues this past week where Charles's grandpa had to, if you guys know, back in January his grandma passed away, which was terrible, worst experience because it's like a big Italian family and like the grandparents are like the matriarchs, I feel like. And the grandpa was in the hospital this past week. It didn't end up being serious, but it was just like if you have dealt with somebody in your family like passing away, when something like that happens so soon after, I think we were all really, really freaked and kind of like, well, we were just all really scared because we didn't really know what was going on with him. They didn't know what was wrong. He had to be admitted. They thought it could be something with his heart. So it was just too soon after his grandma passing, and it really, really, really freaked us all out. We all, the whole family, like all of us got really scared. He's fine now. I appreciate anybody who, I post on Twitter, I didn't really talk about it, but I just posted like if you guys could send good vibes, and everybody did, and I really appreciate all of you who like said a prayer or put out good vibes or just, you know, did anything of the sort. It definitely made me feel better, and just knowing that I had like people praying and everything. But then also, so that happened, and then my car again, if you follow me on Twitter, you'll probably already know this, but I was driving on the thruway and my car just like the tire blew up, and it was really scary. We were stranded for a while. We had to like take a cop car and a tow truck that day to like get everything. It took forever to get fixed, and that was also the day I was like celebrating Mother's Day with my mom, so I had to like miss that, which pissed me off. And then I had to take my car to the shop to get a new tire and get an inspection. Failed my inspection because my car was broken. $500 to fix my car, and that was really stressful and just a lot, like a lot. And I don't know, I'm usually pretty good at handling stressful situations. Like I'm decent at it. I can like keep going with my life even if there's kind of stressful things happening. But I think, to be honest, I was so burnt out. I'm sorry if this is like a therapy session. I'm just like talking. I was so burnt out from school ending, and the last week of my school, the last 2 weeks were so difficult. I had so many papers to write. I had so many things to do, and like group projects and symposiums and crazy stuff. So the last week of classes was kind of a lot. And then all of that happened with my car and Charles's grandpa, and just overall I wasn't super happy. I was in a pretty sad place. So I think with everything combined, I'm just like over it, I guess. I don't really know how else to describe it. I just like haven't felt like sitting down. And when I do sit down to film, I filmed like 5 videos probably the past couple weeks. This is not like, I don't mean to be like annoying and like complaining, because I have a very relatively easy life compared to a lot of people. But I just like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, I just feel like I was so worn out from school, and all of the stress of if I got into the program or not happened. And even now that I'm in, there's still like one more thing I have to do to make sure I get in. And it's just like, it just like feels like a lot. And it's not. It's like really not, but it just feels like it is, because I guess if you have any sort of like depression or anxiety, you know how that goes. And then I've been having like problems with my friends, and that's been really stressful. Not like problems, but just like weird stuff's been going on with me and my friends, and we're kind of in a weird adjustment phase of life where like we used to hang out every single day all day, and now we're moving into that phase of like we only see each other like once or twice a week, and that's been really weird. I haven't really talked about my friends like a ton on this channel, but I'm super, super, super close with them, and they're like basically my family, and they have been for so long that it's kind of hard when we go through phases like this where things are changing, because I think we all kind of just like freak out. And I know these all seem like really petty things, and it's like, well, get it together and just film, but I'm just like, I don't know, this isn't my job, and so this is just my hobby. And I hate saying that because I feel like a lot of you really, really like my content and like when I put stuff out a lot. But lately, it's just not been as fun because of all the stuff going on in my life. And the reason I started this channel was to have fun and to just talk to some people about makeup. And I love when we can do that, but I can't just like force myself to film and do all this stuff if I don't want to. I'm not going to turn my hobby. I feel like that's the reason so many beauty gurus end up absolutely hating their lives and their channels, is because they like force themselves to do this stuff when they don't want to. And I don't ever want to hate this channel. I love this channel. I love hanging out with you guys and talking to you guys. I love interacting with you guys on social media. I love all of that. So I never want to like look at this channel and be like, oh my God, like I have to film today or I have to do this. So I've kind of decided that I am going to try to upload once a week. That's kind of the goal I'm setting for myself, at minimum. And I'm going to really try for 2 to 3 videos a week. But if it doesn't happen, I'll get 1 out a week always. Because I just don't ever want to look at this channel in a way that is like, I don't like doing it. Because I do. I love doing it. And I love getting to like make videos for you guys, and I just want to create content that is actually something I like and I'm proud of, instead of getting up like 5 videos a week. And I hope you guys get that. I think if I put too much pressure on myself with a hobby, because that's what this is, it's a hobby. It's like, this isn't like a professional thing for me. So yeah. Does that look insane? I feel like it looks crazy. What's everybody been watching on TV? I don't really watch TV. I don't have cable, so I can't watch any TV. So my boyfriend and I just watch everything on like Netflix and Hulu. That's basically our... I feel like this is a little vampy. I'm really trying to smoke this out, but we've been watching Misfits on Hulu. It's a really old show. It has newer seasons, but I never have seen it, but he like loves it. So we've been watching a little bit of that, which has been kind of cool. That's been really fun. And then I'm also loved, I know everybody talked about it, but Evil Genius on Netflix. If you have not watched it, like DM me, I'll give you my Netflix. I'm just kidding, I won't give you my Netflix password, but like do a free trial and watch it, because it is so good. It's wild. It's a wild ride. We watched it. I watched it before it was cool. We watched it. And like, I was sitting there and I was like, this is the most insane. We watched it all in like the span of the same day. And I was like, this is the wildest thing I've ever seen. Like, it's insane. I'm going to be using this Fix-It spray from Sacha. They sent this to me for free through Octoly. And I've really, really, really been liking it. It's got a really, it's bigger than you think. It looks kind of small in line. And it's very weighted and heavy. And it has, I'll kind of show you while I spray the brush. It has like a really gentle mist. And it smells like cucumber kind of, which is nice. And I've been loving setting my face with this and wetting my brushes with this. And I think it's pretty cheap. Sacha, oh my God, are you okay? I talked about their Buttercup setting powder a while back. This stuff. And I've been really, really, really liking it. So I was excited that they were willing to send me something else, because I think the brand is pretty cool. And I know I got a lot of comments in my last video that it is a Black-owned makeup brand, which I love. And I guess they make a lot of stuff that's catered toward the African American community, which again, I love. So look at this glow. Like, are you kidding? So I would definitely recommend you guys check them out if you haven't. A lot of people said you could get their stuff on Amazon too. Check them out if you want to. I'll put a link in the description. through Octoly so you guys can see. But I'm glad they sent this to me because I've really been liking it. And I do think it actually, like, it brightens my highlight a lot when I spray it on the brush. And I also do think, I'm not a huge believer in setting sprays. I don't really know what they do. But I will say, of the ones I've tried, this one feels really nice. And it definitely feels like it's doing something to my face. Like, definitely feels like it's putting something in place. So, we got that going. Man, this eye look is not my best. Oh well, what happens? Let's spray before we... I love that. So yeah, Misfits and, that's your homework. Misfits and on Hulu. And if you're a Netflix gal, try out Evil Genius. The crazy thing about Evil Genius is, like, you sit back afterwards and you're like, you still don't get it. Like, the man that did the documentary, watch it, and the guy who directed it literally, like, spent years of his life trying to figure out what happened in this situation. And even in the end of the documentary, like, he doesn't know. Like, you never really understand why. You know what happens, but you don't know why. Like, we never, ever, ever figure out the why. It's just a really mind-blowing. I guess I'm describing it in a way that makes it sound like a waste of time, but it's really just, like, a mind-blowing, crazy experience that I would 10 out of 10 recommend that you watch. So yeah, that's my Get Ready With Me. I'm ready. So I love you guys. I'm sorry if this look came out a little weird and vampy, but we're just gonna go with it. I love you guys so much. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, or just like, or just subscribe, or do neither. I'm honestly just so happy you're watching me. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!